What if I told you, your phone isn't just stealing your time, it's stealing your mind? Every morning, before you even open your eyes fully, someone else decides how you'll feel today. The scariest prison in the world has no bars. It fits right in your pocket. And the truth is, most of us don't even realize we're locked inside. We wake up, grab the screen, scroll through the news, swipe through Instagram, and let algorithms whisper into our heads what to think, what to eat, what to wear, and even whom to love. But have you ever stopped to wonder, what is all this doing to your brain? Why do we crave fast food, fast internet, fast dopamine, and yet feel emptier than ever? There was a time when mornings began with sunlight and birdsong. Today they begin with notifications and noise. And in that shift, something precious has been stolen, our clarity. Slowly, silently, our focus, our memory, our peace of mind are being drained away. But here's the question no one asks. Are we really so helpless? Or is there still a way to break free? This is where the story begins. A journey not just to detox your mind, but to cleanse your soul. Imagine a morning where you sip tea under sunlight instead of blue light. A walk where your mind observes without judgment. A night where you drift into deep sleep without the buzz of endless alerts. It sounds simple, almost too simple. But that's the hidden truth. Small choices can rewire your entire life. And if you stay with me till the end, you'll discover how to reset your brain, reclaim your focus, and take back control from the invisible hands that have been shaping your thoughts. Because this isn't just another video, it's a mission. A revolution that begins inside you. So you'll find more such mind-shifting, life-changing book summaries. Now is the time to wake up. Let's detox the mind together. Chapter 1, Disconnection Syndrome. A sad state of affairs. Something inside you has changed, hasn't it? Before, small things used to touch your heart. Asking about someone's well-being, sharing a cup of tea, your mother serving you food with a smile, all of this felt like a lot. But now, it feels like your heart has gone numb. There's no connection in people's conversations. There's no spark in your eyes, and a hollowness has settled within you. Imagine scrolling through social media. In 1 minute, you've seen 4 people's success stories, read 2 political fights, and liked 3 strangers' vacation posts. And then you feel as if your own life has been left behind. A slight irritation, a tiredness, and a silent guilt. Why does my life seem so dull? This isn't a coincidence. It's the web of modern life, in which we've all become entangled, silently, without making a sound. And the biggest danger is that we don't even realize when our minds become part of this chaos. Now pay attention. When we become disconnected from our feelings, our relationships, our priorities, the first impact is on our way of thinking. We become reactive. We have to respond to everything immediately. We have to make decisions hastily. We have to suppress every emotion. And when all this happens daily, our brain shifts into survival mode. Gradually, we become accustomed to being distracted. For example, we become afraid of silence. Sitting alone feels uncomfortable, and the habit of talking to ourselves has been left behind. But have you ever wondered why? Why is everyone anxious, depressed, and restless these days? Because our entire world now operates on disconnection. We are digitally connected but emotionally empty. We have unlimited information but zero wisdom. And the saddest part is that we've come to accept this as normal. Have you ever noticed how the meeting feels when you meet a friend and both are busy on their mobile phones? It's as if there's no spark, as if you were physically close but mentally distant. This is where disconnection syndrome begins. When we disconnect from people, ourselves, and our purpose, we lose clarity of thought. Our choices become impulsive, and we live in a world where temporary pleasure has replaced deep happiness. The real question is no longer this: how busy are we? The real question is, what are we busy with? Are they things that detoxify our brain? Or are they making it more toxic every day? This disease of disconnection gradually hollows us from within. We compare ourselves to others, get hurt over small things, and don't know how to get out of this emotional fog. But where the problem lies, the solution also begins. Reconnecting this broken connection is difficult, but not impossible. And this journey begins with awareness, by understanding where we've gone missing. When we understand how much our choices, our environment, and our habits are influencing our brain, we can rekindle that spark within us. Because true detox doesn't come from juices or supplements. True detox occurs when we begin to consciously reset our thinking, our relationships, and our digital behavior. And the first step to that healing is recognizing the disconnection. Only then will we be able to reconnect with ourselves, our loved ones, and the clarity that gives our lives meaning again. Chapter 2. Your brain's reward system is hypothetical. Let me ask you a question. Has it ever happened that you said you'd just watch a reel and you didn't even realize when 2 hours passed? Or you thought you'd just eat a small treat today, and the next moment you finished an entire chocolate bar, then a packet of chips, then something sweet? This doesn't happen just like that. Behind this is a very mysterious part of our brain, our reward system. When we feel good, like receiving a compliment, completing a task, or eating a favorite food, a chemical called dopamine is released in our brain. This dopamine gives us that feel-good moment. But now imagine what would happen if someone deliberately started giving your brain repeated doses of dopamine and you gradually became addicted to it. This is what's happening. Today's world is filled with dopamine, every moment of every day. Fast food, fast likes, fast replies, fast entertainment, everything is a decoy, specially crafted to reward your brain repeatedly. But these rewards aren't real. They're temporary highs, and these highs gradually hijack your brain's natural balance. Things that once brought us deep happiness, like reading a book, talking to an old friend, or sitting alone to think, now seem boring. Why? Because our brain now expects instant rewards from everything. This hijacking has the biggest impact on our decision-making. When our reward system becomes overactive, we can't think long-term. We only want happiness in the moment. We ignore future losses even when we see them. And this is the point where we become disconnected from ourselves. We think it's our fault that we're weak, lazy, undisciplined. But the truth is, we've been trained. A tendency to crave dopamine. A tendency to run after pleasure, even if it costs us peace. Now imagine your brain is in a room. There are flashing lights, loud noises, tempting visuals everywhere. And every time you click on something or consume something, you get a reward. Gradually, your brain becomes a prisoner of that room. The room isn't even closed, but there's no desire to get out. Because of this, we're not just distracted, we're exhausted. Our attention isn't distracted, it's being diverted. And in this attention economy, your focus has become the biggest commodity. Now it's essential that we understand this internal chemistry of our brain and reclaim it. Because until we understand what triggers our actions, we can't change them. Like a person trapped, we'll just keep feeling guilty, but unable to get out. So awareness is the first step, knowing that our brain has been hacked. And when you start to see how every scroll, every bite, every notification is affecting you, that's when you start to take back your power. Because real control lies in recognizing the dopamine waves and then riding those waves with your choices. That's where the journey to true freedom begins. A brain that feels clarity again, prioritizes peace, and puts the direction of your life in your hands. Chapter 3. Technology is making us less human. Have you ever noticed? We humans created technology to make life easier. But today, life seems so fast and complicated that it feels as if technology has taken control of us. The moment we wake up in the morning, our mobile screen is the first thing we see, and it's the last thing we see before bed. The sound of notifications has become like our heartbeat. Every vibration feels like we're sure we'll miss something important. But what's truly important, peace, connection, the present moment, is left behind. We live in an age where technology is consuming our attention, our emotions, and worst of all, our humanity. Imagine sitting with someone and that person is constantly engrossed in their phone and how it feels like you're not there. And sometimes put yourself in that situation when you're with someone else, yet you're scrolling through reels. Do you really understand then? Are you there? Technology has connected us, but ironically, it's also disconnected us the most. Now, our conversations are conducted in emojis. Feelings are expressed through typing, and our happiness is measured by the number of likes and views. But the real pain lies in the way we slowly lose ourselves. In trying to portray a perfect life on social media, we hide our true feelings. We start running in a race of comparison where there's no finish line. There's only exhaustion, anxiety, and a silence that resonates deep within. The most dangerous effect of technology is when it robs us of our ability to think. We no longer have time to think. Every second requires something new. New videos, new content, new excitement. And in this rush, we lose our attention, focus, patience, and silence. All these qualities now seem outdated. But this is where the creativity, empathy, and depth of humankind used to emerge. We've started living hidden behind screens. Now face-to-face conversations feel awkward and uncomfortable because our habits have changed. But the biggest question is, will these habits become our identity? Are we using technology as a tool, or is it controlling us? We need self-awareness to understand when we've become so machine-inspired and live like machines. And then, gradually, each day, we need to take a step back and return to real moments. Because to be human, we first need to connect with humans. And there's no digital shortcut to that connection. Technology is powerful, but human presence is much deeper. And when we recapture our humanity, technology becomes a slave, not a master. Chapter 4. Empathy is the antidote. Have you ever seen the depth in someone's eyes that speaks volumes without words? When someone's grief touches your heart and you become silent, not just to speak, but to feel. That's what empathy is. But this empathy is being lost these days, and that's no small matter. It's the emotion that makes us human. Now consider this. When we see a sad person, we show sympathy. It's very bad for you, I understand. But empathy involves something else. In it, we put ourselves in the other person's shoes. We feel their pain with our soul, and this connection connects hearts. Today, when people are struggling with anxiety, depression, and loneliness, the biggest thing missing is someone who truly understands. Someone who can not only respond, but also listen, feel, and validate the person's pain. But the problem is that in our fast-paced, digitally driven world, everything has become transactional. Friendships are made over chat. Love is expressed through emojis, and pain is reduced to a WhatsApp status. Without empathy, we are merely functioning, not living. When empathy is lost, judgment arises, cruelty ensues, and relationships begin to crumble. People live together in homes, yet are miles away from each other's feelings. Couples sleep in the same bed, but the emotional connection is almost gone. Empathy means being fully heard, without interruption, without advice. Simply saying, I am here, and I am with you. Now imagine if everyone started practicing a little empathy, it would transform the world. Empathy creates compassion in children, patience in the young, and contentment in the elderly. It brings healing to relationships and connection to society. But empathy isn't just for others. It's just as important for ourselves. When you learn to forgive your mistakes, and when you begin to understand the storm raging within you, you connect with yourself, and this connection we make with ourselves transforms the outside world. Empathy isn't something to be learned. It's something to be awakened. It's already there within us. It's just that its voice has been drowned out by the noise of distraction, ego, and stress. So if you want to heal this broken world, revive empathy. Look into the eyes. Listen without judgment, and even when someone is wrong, try to understand, because you might be the one person in someone's life who truly feels. Chapter 5. Nutrition impacts brain function. Have you ever considered that the food you fill your plate every day is shaping not just your body, but also your brain? Yes, it's not just about filling your stomach. It's about the fuel that keeps your brain running. The fuel that clears your thoughts and keeps your emotions in check. But the sad truth is that in today's world, we're not eating right. We're slowly poisoning ourselves through our choices and habits. Let's start with the truth. Processed foods, sugary snacks, oily fast food, all of them are junk. They're addictive, designed to please your taste buds, but slowly numb your brain. Every time we eat junk food, we not only gain weight, but our thinking, concentration, and emotional balance also decline. Brain inflammation increases, and this inflammation makes our decisions impulsive, destabilizes our mood, and pushes us toward anxiety or depression. You may have noticed that when you eat well throughout the day, you feel clarity in your mind. But when you're not eating well throughout the day, if we've only had tea, samosas, chocolate, and cold drinks, our mind feels foggy and heavy. This is the difference between brain-friendly nutrition and brain-draining junk. Now comes sugar. Sugar is a silent attacker. It gives us the illusion of short-term energy, but in the long term, it destroys our memory, focus, and even sleep. And it's not just about sugar. Highly processed carbs, preservatives, and chemical-laden snacks all gradually slow down our brains, making them dull. We don't even realize the root of our low energy, low motivation, and constant irritability. The answer lies right in our plate. Now imagine eating food every day that nourishes, heals, and gives clarity to your brain. Then imagine what direction your life will take. Fruits, leafy grains, omega-3 rich nuts, hydration, and whole grains are all premium fuel for your brain. Just as no one runs a car on cheap oil, our brains can't run on cheap, processed, toxic food. Nutrition isn't a diet plan. It's a mindset. When you eat food not just to survive, but to think intelligently, your decisions change, your focus sharpens, and your emotional life becomes stable. We must understand that our brains are plastic, meaning they can change and heal themselves, but only if we provide them with the right environment, and that environment starts in our kitchens. Your next meal won't be just a meal. It will be a message to your brain, either toward confusion or toward clarity. The decision is yours. What are you feeding your brain? Toxic cravings or mindful nutrition? Because as the food, so is the mind. And as the mind, so is the life. Chapter 6. Sleep is brain medicine. Ever felt tired after a day without anything to do? Your eyes are heavy, your mind is irritable, and your brain seems to refuse to function. Wait, this fatigue isn't just from work. It's the punishment for lack of sleep. In our fast-paced, 24/7 lives, sleep has become a luxury. It seems like a waste of time. We have to achieve something right now. We'll sleep after success. But in reality, those who sacrifice sleep sacrifice their clarity, creativity, and emotional stability. Sleep is not a passive activity. It's the time when our brain deeply detoxes. When we sleep, our brain literally cleanses itself, flushing out waste and toxins, repairing damaged cells, and processing the day's information into memories. Now imagine how you feel the next morning after a good, deep sleep. Mind calm, thinking clear, and energy high. But when you don't get enough sleep, you get angry over every little thing. Decision-making becomes hampered and your mind becomes clouded in fog. Sleep deprivation doesn't just cause fatigue. It weakens your immune system, increases blood pressure, and lowers your emotional resilience. When you don't sleep, your brain goes into fight or flight mode. You perceive everything as a threat. This means fear over small things, frustration over short periods of time, and most shockingly, less sleep increases your cravings. When you don't get enough sleep, your brain craves more sugary, fatty, and unhealthy foods. This means poor sleep, poor food choices, poor brain health. Now imagine if there were a pill that would improve your memory, sharpen your focus, improve your mood, and heal your body. You would take it every day. Well, that pill is called sleep. It's absolutely free. There are no side effects, but the condition is that you prioritize it. A good night's sleep requires staying away from screens, a fixed bedtime routine, a dark and cool bedroom environment, and most importantly, calming the mind. After a busy day, when we sleep without stress, sleep acts as medicine. Because the day's hustle and bustle only bears fruit when a night's sleep restores us. Sleep isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. And the person who disciplines their sleep becomes not just strong, but unstoppable. So, the next time you think, I won't sleep now, I need a little more productivity, ask yourself this question. Am I truly being productive, or am I slowly losing myself? Because your clarity, your decisions, your thinking, everything begins with a deep, restful sleep. From the chapter, Mindfulness Reconnects You. Have you ever felt like you're not fully present in anything? Your body is here, but your mind is somewhere else. Someone is talking to you, but your attention is on your mobile phone. You're eating, but you can't feel the taste. You're standing in a beautiful moment, but your mind is swirling with old worries or concerns about tomorrow. Many of us live in this state, as if we're not living even when we're alive. Our lives are filled with multitasking, noise, and distractions. And in this constantly fast-paced world, we've lost the most important thing: mindfulness. Mindfulness means being completely present in the moment with complete awareness. No judgment, no comparison, just being. But today's human being is constantly escaping from something or the other, from uncomfortable emotions, from silence, from boredom, and the mind is so occupied that it has forgotten to be quiet for even a moment. When we're not mindful, we become disconnected. We make decisions with our bodies, our emotions, and most importantly, our inner truth. But they become reactions. We talk, but the meaning is lost. We see, but we don't feel. And gradually our minds begin to operate on autopilot. Mindfulness is the switch that turns off that autopilot and brings us back to consciousness. When you breathe consciously, listen attentively to sounds, or feel each bite of food, you reclaim your attention. And this attention is the key to your clarity, your creativity, and your emotional healing. Mindfulness isn't a grand practice. It's about living fully in the small moments of every day. When you sip your morning tea and simply feel the warmth of it. When you put your phone aside while listening to someone close. Or when you listen to the beat of each step while walking, you're living mindfulness. This practice quiets the clutter of your mind, the overthinking, the inner noise that tires you out. Mindfulness dissolves it. And when the noise subsides, a clear voice emerges from within. That of your intuition, of your true needs. Mindfulness doesn't slow you down. It makes you truly alive. And when you live fully awake, every emotion, every thought, every experience becomes a learning experience. Then you don't run away from life. You accept it fully. It starts with just one moment. Right now, in this moment, pay attention to your breath. Feel and simply be here, because this is the moment where life truly happens. Not caught up in past mistakes or future worries. Just now. Mindfulness isn't therapy. It's the truest connection between you and yourself. And when this connection deepens, no suffering in the world can completely break you. Conclusion. So now that you've reached this point, pause for a moment and ask yourself a question. Am I truly feeling my life? Or am I just getting through it in this fast-paced world where everything is loud and distracting? We've lost the most precious thing, connection with ourselves. Our minds are overloaded with processed food, digital noise, endless comparisons, emotional numbness. And in this chaos, we've forgotten where clarity, peace, and real happiness lie. But now is the time to wake up. It's time to recognize this disconnect, and gradually, one change at a time, take control of our lives. A good night's sleep, a mindful walk, healthy food, a deep breath, listening to someone from the heart, or forgiving yourself for a moment. These are no small feats. This is the true detox. These are the seeds that regrow your thinking. They make you stronger from within. Technology is for you, not you for it. The reward system is within you. It's not your identity, and clarity isn't a luxury. It's your right. Now it's your decision. Will you continue on autopilot, or will you take back control of your mind? Because when you reset your mind, when you choose your thoughts, choices, and habits with awareness, only then will you move toward a world where success isn't just found outside, but also inside. Now is the time to reconnect with yourself, reset yourself, and reclaim your life. This journey may be long, but you are not alone. In every moment you work on yourself, you are also making the world a little better. Now the next step is yours. Thank you.